Okay, what we'll be looking at here is the LINKERT M741-1 military carburettor. This was the carburettor fitted to the 741 Indian military application, but it can be used for other purposes. Okay, now the distinguishing factor, of course, is when you look there on top of the carburettor body, you distinctly see its marking, and its marking is M for Mike 741-1, and that's the carburettor we'll be looking at today. In particular, we'll be looking as to how to set the needle jets, that one there being the high-speed needle jet, and that one there being the low-speed needle jet, or, as it states down here on the car body, that the low-speed idle needle runs through, it has the word idle. And we can depict that from the choke end. That's the choke end. There's your choke lever that runs through there, and it has a butterfly valve setup. Okay, and over here we have the throttle shaft. The throttle shaft actually has a slot within it where the throttle disc is inserted into through the slot on the throttle shaft and is secured by 2 screws. And that supplies your engine. This side here, of course, is attached to your inlet manifold, which of course travels down this way, moving into the front cylinder and moving into the rear cylinder. So the carburettor basically supplies a fuel air mix to the engine at varying intervals. So that's what we'll be looking at today. And we'll also be looking at this particular fellow here. That's called your float. This particular fellow here, that's called your float bowl. And that particular float that I showed you earlier is attached to here. So we'll be looking at that in detail, in particular the needle and the seat. That's the hex head that you undo, and it pulls out the housing which the seat is contained into, and the actual needle that moves onto that seat is attached to this pivot arm. So all that will be looked at in detail.